Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 53 of my series in which I will try to collect 1 billion iron ingots. In today's episode, I'm actually going to set up yet another automatic mining mechanism, and it's quite different from what I have, and likely I probably should have set something up like this up quite a bit earlier, but I have a few things I don't know about this system, including its power draw. So we'll find out a little bit more about this system in this episode. So the first thing I need to do is I need some more power gen. And so I have two new buildings set up for this episode, that black one over there and then this one right here. This one is going to be for power gen specifically for that building over there because I'm pretty sure it's going to drink energy. Now, for this build, we are going to use some extreme reactors turbines to generate power, but we're not going to use reactors to give them steam. We're going to do something different. And I had a test structure set up because I wasn't sure if this was going to work at all, but it is working, so we're going to go ahead and I can go ahead and build this one out on camera, and it's quite a nifty build, I think. So the first thing I need to do is I need to set up water for my steam dynamos, because I'm going to be using steam dynamos from thermal expansion to give the system water, or steam I mean. But to give the steam dynamos water, I need to set up something down here. So what I need to grab are I need to grab 4 of these guys. I actually probably don't even need 4 of them, but whatever, might as well be safe than sorry. And you need some water buckets. I actually only need 2. So to make this simple, I guess, what I can do is I can go ahead and get my water so that it kind of goes everywhere. I think that should do it. So now I can go ahead and throw that back. And now let's set up these guys. Output to the top is what we want. That's perfect. And then we're going to use some super laminar fluid duct, which supposedly have an unlimited amount of they can transfer an unlimited amount of a liquid so long as they are pressurized, or at least that's how I understand it. So what we need to do is we need to bring these up, and these will provide water to the turbines. And now to make this look a little bit nicer, I'm going to slap some covers on, and hopefully that makes it look a little bit better. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to slap on my steam dynamos. That's not how I want them oriented at all. There we go. 15th time is the charm. Actually, it's like the 5th or whatever. And then to get these upgraded, we need to, I guess we don't need the resonant conversion kits, but I have 4 of them, so let's go ahead and slap those on. And then we need to give each one of these a boiler conversion. And instead of producing RF, it will produce steam instead. And then I actually have 2 of these guys set to be off, so let's go ahead and do that. These top 2 ones are completely off because I don't actually need them. But in the future, if I decide to change the configuration of the turbine to make a little bit more power, which I very well could, we can go ahead and use these turbine or dynamos for good. But for right now, what we need is, I think this one uses one of these guys. Nope, I'm wrong here. Because I need, according to my testing, the sweet spot for these turbines is about 1540. I can't hit that exactly with these dynamos, but I can hit 1560. So that's what we're aiming for here. So 720. This one will produce 720. And then this one will produce 840. That gives us 1560 millibuckets, which is pretty close to that 1540 kind of gold threshold. So the next thing we need is we need fuel in here. So let's go ahead and set up an automation for that. And for that, I'm going to be using coal blocks, to be honest, because they actually give just a little bit more burn time if you do it this way. You see, to make every coal block, you need 9 coal. But the thing is, it gives you actually 10 times more power. So it's actually very beneficial to go ahead and do this. And so that's what we're going to do. And these things last quite a long time. In the Steam configuration, they actually burn coal quite quickly. But that's okay because we're producing a mighty large amount of power. So let's go ahead and set this up. We're going to need some covered cable as per usual. And then let's just grab modular storage. This is going to be like super mega overkill, but that's okay. We're going to need an export bus. Okay, export bus with a crafting card. And 3 of these guys. So I went ahead and set up a basement, obviously, because I was down here. And so we can go ahead and run our... Actually, let's see exactly where I want this. I think I want this right here, the modular storage. So let's go ahead and place it right here. And then throw in its tier 1 storage module. And now we can go down to the basement and get our bus. Slap it on there. Oh, we got a weather. And tell it we want coal. And then we just have to snake this across. I didn't set up that cover in the right spot. I see. And I don't know where it went. So let's go ahead and grab another one and fix it. Is that right? That's right. Okay, so for this, I guess what I'm actually going to do is, rather than have it like snake around, let's just make this look a little bit cleaner by doing something like this instead. And then we will have to exit down here. That is golden. I actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I want to make it. What? I don't even know how he survived. Oh, in between episodes, I had to fix my hammer for the first time. Totally sad about that. But that's okay. Okay, so let's grab some elevators. Because we don't have an elevator shaft anywhere over here, and it's always nice to have. So, might as well go ahead and set that up. So now we can get down here from right here. And then we can go ahead and connect this up. I actually could have done it from one higher. That's okay. Because normally I have to do one down like that to make everything work in the tunnel, or at least make it look good in the tunnel. So this thing should be getting coal somewhat soon. There we go. And now we need to get that coal from here to over here. So let's grab some item duct, some impulse item duct. Pretty much anytime I say item duct anymore, I mean impulse item duct because... Oh, shoot. That's right. There's nothing in between the turbines there, and I don't know why I thought there was. But this isn't the smoothest setup, but it should work. Let's grab a servo and put this guy on round robin mode, always active. And then we should start seeing blocks of coal enter these steam dynamos. Looks like we're golden. Okay, these guys are burning. Do I have this turbine set to on? I do. And let's set it to its 1560. And if I have a little bit, perfect. And let's see here. What are we at right here? As you see right here, I'm barely gaining any additional power from our additional rotor speed. That's because I'm kind of leaving the super efficient zone. I actually need to monitor this to make sure I don't get it too fast, or else I'll actually start producing less RF. But for right now, that's all good and dandy. Actually, I need to set up the flux duct. And this system isn't actually going to be connected to my main system, and that's kind of right now because I have no idea what the power draw of this system will be. So by kind of separating it from the rest of the system, it will make it a little bit easier to see exactly what my power draw is going to be. So we can just have it exit over here. And I think I'm going to have some sand, but that's okay. I'll just have to cover this back up. Okay, let's go outside and get this guy to the other building. This building also has a basement, and the basement will be pretty critical to making this whole system work because there's going to be a lot of plumbing down there. Okay, now we can get to the meat of this episode, and that is what we're going to be doing in this building. And I guess I don't need to be there. I guess first let's show what I'm doing on a small scale, and then let's make a big scale. I've actually done some testing off camera to make sure this would work, and it does. I'm going to be using some machines from Actual Editions today, and that will be the Atomic Reconstructor, the Auto Breaker, and the Auto Placer. And I will also need a bunch of stone. And I'm probably going to go ahead and make this stone in this building. But for right now, let's go ahead and just set up a little sample system. So first we need an auto placer. We're actually not going to set this up. How we're going to have it set up in its final form. But all of these are in deactivation mode. We actually need them to be in not deactivation mode. We need them to be in pulse mode. So we need to grab a torch and right click, and that will get them to pulse mode. And then I need to put my stone in the auto placer, and I need power for this guy right here. So let's just go ahead and crudely set up a power connection. Okay, so this thing has power. There's actually one more thing I need, and that is a lens of the miner. And heck, while we're here, let's go ahead and see if we can't do this. Cool. Because I need a bunch of those. And cool. And normally what this does is it takes things like, let's just get an example here. It takes like a redstone block, and I guess I need a lever. To show how this works. Normally it takes things like redstone blocks and turns it into other things like redstone and crystal blocks, which then I do something like that because this is its usable form in most crafting recipes, and you get a new item out of it. But if you use a lens of the miner, actually I need let's grab some buttons. Let's grab some stone because I don't have my system making buttons. Okay, so let's see here. How this system will work is the auto placer will place down a block. This will pulse it. Nope, there we go. And what the lens of the miner does is it will transform stone into a random ore. And I'm not sure if there's a list anywhere of like the ores it can make, but it will make an ore. And then lastly, this guy right here will take it and break it and put it in its inventory, and then we can import from the breakers here. Now, obviously, we can make this much better. The next step to this would be simply making it faster. So to do that, we are going to use some, let's see, I need some structural duct. Actually, I can use any like item duct or anything. And let's see, a timer. Oh shoot, I should have grabbed it because I kind of need it. A redstone repeater. And some redstone itself. Now, for this all to work properly, let's see here. Let's wrench this so it's over here. Oh shoot, that's not where I need that. The first thing that will need to be activated is the auto placer. So let's set that up next to the auto placer. let's set the timer to like something really high right now. And then we need to set up these redstone. Actually, I guess I don't even need this right now. But we need this all to work in a specific order. Shoot, and I don't think that's gonna work. Because that redstone is not actually... Yeah, I'm gonna have to move these. But that's okay. So this will be this. This is first. This needs to be get redstone signal first. This will need to be second, and this is third. So we need to give them delays to indicate that's exactly what we want, and that's what the repeaters are here for. See the delay of 1 tick and then 2 ticks, and this will have no delay, so it should get the signal first. And let's set this guy to, I already have it set really high. Let's do something like 20. So that'll be once every second this thing should pulse. And as you can see, the system works. In our auto breaker here, we're getting stuff, so that's cool. Now we need to bring that to a much larger scale, and we can. I was hoping I could break all of them. So let's go upstairs, and I will arrange. Oh, whoops! I need to right click, not left click. Genius. So let's build exactly how we're going to do this. First, let's get rid of a bunch of crap. Oh, I didn't mean to get rid of that. I need to get all that stuff back. So, okay, actually additions. 100, 100, and 100. How we're going to set this up is in the back here, we will have our lenses, and they will be completely along the back wall there. Down below, we will have our breakers. And for my testing, I'm pretty sure down below is the best place for it, at least in how I have my system kind of designed. So we need our auto breakers down, and they need to be oriented with this facing up. So let's go ahead and place all of these down. And there we are. And then our auto placers need to be over here. Nope. Okay, let's see here. And they need to have their this thing facing in, like so. No! See? Now I made a mistake. Okay, now we need to give them redstone signals. And for that, we need to dig out an area like so. We're going to be using some redstone relays. For these guys back here, I actually might need to use... Actually, let me see here. Can I do... I actually need quite a bit of power to these things, and I don't think the resonant... You know what, let's go ahead and build it out, and let's see if it works. I'm not sure that these flux duct right here will give enough power, but we'll find out. Okay, so... Oh, shoot. Now we need our redstone torch back, because those things automatically go off like every little bit. So I actually need to do this for all the machines. They all need to be in pulse mode. I'm actually going to come back after I have all these in pulse mode. It's just a matter of right-clicking all of them. So I will be back here in just a little bit. And the next thing we need to set up here is our item ducts to get items in and out of these guys. So let's go ahead and place these down. These will also serve as our redstone conduits, because we will add some redstone relays to these things. But for right now, we just are placing them down. Okay, this one I think will be the input for the auto placers, and we will need to place relays on all of these guys. So let's go ahead and actually, before I do that, I need to plan out all of my relays here. I think, yes, I need to place all my relays for the atomic reconstructors on my resonant flux duct here. And, oh shoot, let's see here. How do I want to do this? Yeah, I need servos on all those. So I also need to place these guys right here as well, because I will need item duct on the bottom of these guys, and they will need to have servos on them to make sure to get everything out quick enough, because I'm actually going to have this system running awfully fast, and hopefully we'll get there by the end of the episode. But so I need these redstone relays on the side here. What I'm going to do is, actually no, I don't. Yeah, I do, because I want, okay, I'm debating myself on how exactly I want to do this. I think this will be the best way to do it. I'm going to place down all the redstone relays, and then I'm going to be back in just a little bit. And then the next step of this build is to set up these relays so that they are on different channels here. I need to make them as outputs, or at least these relays up here as outputs. And then I need to set them to 3 different channels. The auto placers are going to be on the red channel, which is the default. The atomic reconstructors will be set to the green channel, and the breakers right here will be set to the brown channel. And I'm going to go ahead and do all that off camera because there's quite a bit of these guys, and it's going to take just a few minutes to do, so I will be back in just a few minutes. Now that I have all the relays set up how I want them, at least for now, I need to remember to go ahead and slap on the lens of the miners for these guys right here. So let's go ahead and do that before I forget. And unfortunately, all of these things are individual items, so you have to do it like so, and it's a little bit slow. I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera real fast, and then I will be back. Okay, we have all of our lenses on. Now the next thing we need is we need stone for all of these auto placers. So let's go ahead and get an item duct right here. And let's see here. Where can we make this stone? I think we'll just make it something like along right here. And we need to go ahead and not have these connected for right now, because I need the stone to only go in the auto placers. Actually, I'm pretty sure it won't go into the auto breakers, but I need to have these lines separate for right now. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and place a bunch of flux duct along the floor right here. And then I can go ahead and place my industrial foregoing stoneworks factories on top of them. Okay, so let's see here. I actually want to swap this out for some better flux duct. For this stuff right meow. Yeah, I can do that. And then one more. And let's get rid of that torch. This doesn't look the neatest, but that's okay. And then boom. So let's grab our stoneworks factories. There we go. And we're just going to place these guys down, not like so, because I need my energy. And then we're going to place these guys on top here. And then I need to go ahead and set all of these to furnace mode. And then I also need to throw in some upgrades. And let's see here. I think 26 will be good of each. I think I'm only making, well, regardless, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make them all into furnace mode on the first slot because we want the stone, and then throw in these 2 upgrades. I'm going to go ahead and set up the rest of these guys off camera, and then I will be back hopefully to finish up this build. Now that we have our material stonework factories all configured, we need... Okay, apparently it's except that one. We need to go ahead and slap servos on these guys. And then... No, whoops. And then we need to configure these to whitelist stone. And then we need to turn them on. And I can go ahead and do that off camera as well. So I will be back after I have all these servos set up correctly. Okay, now we have our stone production and exporting all figured out to our placers up here. The next thing we need to do is we need to put on servos onto these auto breakers down here, because we need to be able to get the items out of them, whoops, and into our applied energistic system to where they can be processed. So this is pretty simple. We are going to just add servos onto this line. We will need to activate them, but let's get an inventory real fast, and we can use modular storage again. These things are so much better than chests, that's why I use them. So let's go ahead and place this something like right here, and then we're gonna have to wrench this guy right here, but that's okay. And then we can go ahead and throw this in, and then yeah, we should have our stuff and it should all flow into here. I need to set up these servos real fast to always be on, so I will be back in a little bit. Now that we have our item extraction all set up from our auto breakers, we need to find a way to get it into our system. And that's pretty easy. We're just going to use an import bus like usual and run this cable across the room. I believe right on the other side of this wall is our covered cable, so that works out perfectly. And that should be able to import everything that we're getting. Now the last part of the setup is we need to set up the redstone wizardry stuff. And for that, I guess I'm going to need some repeaters. So let's grab 2 of those guys. I only need 2. And then we need to connect all these lines with some structural duct. That way we have everything connected as far as redstone. So we can do it like so. And then we can just kind of set up our redstone just kind of anywhere. How about something like over here? And let's make it a little bit neater than that. And then we can set up our relays here. Okay, first it'll need to be red. And these are all inputs. Next will be green. Next will be brown. Our timer can go... Actually, let's kind of reverse this. Green needs 1 tick delay. And this will need just anything more. So now, actually I need redstone, regular, just all redstone. And let's set up our timer. Okay, that is a little fast, maybe. Okay, let's see here. Is she working? Looks like she is. And that appears to be working. Okay. So one thing is I placed it a little bit away from my main building because the system is kind of loud. Fortunately, if you go just a little bit away, you can't hear it. So that's kind of why I placed it over here. And we should be able to run this thing a little bit faster. So let's see here. Let's try 10. So that's 2 blocks every second. Let's see. Is this working correctly? I don't know that it is, because I see some things not being transformed. Let's go to the video evidence. We are getting cobblestone, so we're running this too fast. Let's try 1 per second. Let's try a little bit more delay on our breakers. Okay, I think what might be going on is our lasers are not activating at quite the right time. So let's try to increase our delay for the lasers. Okay, let's see if this is working. It looks like we're still having some issues, which is kind of unfortunate. Let's try this. I know I can run the system faster than this. This is going to be disappointing if I can't actually run it faster than this. My testing apparatus, I got to run a lot faster than this. Actually, let's run over to my testing apparatus. See what I have different. Green, 1. Okay, I think I have some inversion here. Yeah, I have inverted scale on my brown. And I'm wondering if just the sheer length of the redstone isn't kind of messing it up. So let's go over here and set it up how I have the other one set up and see if that fixes everything. So I'm in the wrong building. Derp. Okay, the brown needs to be inverted. Let's see here. Right now it's behaving. I have an idea here. And that would be to kind of switch these up. As in place, make this one green, make this one red. Yeah, invert our brown. Okay, let's see if we can't run this at one per second. Okay, right now, that looks really good. Let's speed it up. It's kind of the last step of this build. And it is erroring. We have stone. The weird thing is, like, it's not in the same spot every time. So that tells me, I think, just the sheer size of the system is kind of slowing it down, unfortunately. Okay, I think we're gonna have to run it at this speed. And I still think it's erroring a little bit. Basically, we don't want to see stone. And I definitely see some stone getting broken. Yeah, and there's definitely cobblestone coming in here. Yeah, it's an imperfect system, but you know what? I think it's about time to wrap up. But first, let's take a look. How's our power doing? Holy crap, we are using a lot of power. Okay, okay, I see what might be going on here. Yeah, our problem isn't we're running it too fast. Our problem is we don't have enough power. That's obscene. Okay. Okay, that's really good to know. Let's throw this thing down and let's see if we're still. Wow. Oh, okay. I know another thing. Our conduit might not be good enough. We might need to switch this out. Yeah, it's struggling. Unfortunately, there's actually not. There is a way to do this. There absolutely is. Absolutely is a way to do this. And it's something like this. Somewhere about halfway through, we can kind of separate the systems. I need a structural duct. Oh, whoops. I need that to be right there. Carry the redstone. And we can just run this over and connect it up. That should help the energy issue. We're still probably, because I actually had my buffers of these two guys completely wiped out. So yeah, we're using a lot of power over there. Yeah, it's definitely wrapping up time though. So in today's episode, I managed to set up a new system to mine. It's loud and it's proud. It's actually a pretty cool system, but it does use a lot of energy. I'm guessing it's probably less efficient than a lot of the other systems I have set up. But for right now, that's completely okay. As of right now, we have 24 million iron ingots and a nice backlog of 1.3 million iron ore. Also, in between episodes, I expanded my nuclear setup over there. I just essentially built a second floor of nuclear reactors. That's exactly the same as the first floor that I did episode or 2 or 3 back. So, I mean, it's just me expanding on a system I've already built. So that's why we have a giant backlog of iron ore again. And yeah, I'm definitely happy with how things are going, though. Definitely a huge increase in iron ingot production here recently. So we're on our way to 1 billion. Still a long ways away, though. For right now, though, this is Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.